Hello lovelies, welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, welcome. If you're not, welcome back. Today I am taking a little break from makeup because well, I've been behind the scenes working on a course to get my international certification, and in doing so I have been practicing all day. I have been spending too many hours just blending away on my eyes, and so they are irritated. They don't want to be touched. And so it's the perfect day to do a reset and recharge of sorts. So that being said, we are going to be dyeing my eyebrows with Just for Men. For those of you who know, I have been dyeing my eyebrows for years. Those of you who don't know, well, welcome. Now you know. You're in the inner circle. Cool. Anyways, so this trick is mainly because I have very, very fair blonde. Well, I'm not fair blonde. You can see I'm a dirty blonde. But the way my hair grows in is it usually starts off very platinum. You can see with like my baby hairs, if they'll show up in the light, probably not. It starts off platinum and then it deepens as it grows. And so I tend to dye it just to give it a little bit of love if it's looking a little sparse. So we are going to start off with a little bit of the color base. You really don't need much, okay? You don't need much. Mine is kind of black looking. I have had this for too long. Maybe 2 years, maybe 4. I don't fucking know. I've had it for a while. A little tube lasts a long while, and I feel like Just for Men's probably has a brow product at this point that I could probably use, but that I digress. We are going to grab some of the color developer. For some reason, a bunch of it flew into the lid, so we're just going to scrape that out and throw that in there. Try to mash this lid on. Great, good for next time. Now, using a angled eyebrow brush, we are going to mix this solution. Take a little sip. Now, while we wait for this to develop, I kid, we're not waiting for it to develop. I am blonde, so we don't want it to develop too fast, and we also want it to develop on the hairs, right? That's the point here. We're trying to dye our hairs, our little brow hairs. I will also be touching the tips of my lashes, but they don't recommend doing that, so I'm not gonna advise that. I do that. Doesn't mean you should do that. I've been doing this for over a decade. So I have experience. I'm not going to do it on camera either because that'll make me shake and put it probably into my eye, and that's exactly what they don't want you to do. So we're going to grab some of the product, mush it out a little bit because we don't need too much on the brush, okay? You can see it is on the brush, okay? I'm going to be using a handheld mirror because as you saw at the beginning of this video, I had glasses on. I don't have my glasses on. I am blind. Well, I'm a degree of blind, not blind. That's a misconception. A lot of people think that like, if you're blind, you're like wearing the sunglasses, walking with the stick. But no, if you're visually impaired, you're visually impaired. Like I legally can't drive without my glasses. Therefore, I'm blind. Am I wrong? Probably. But I'm gonna stick to I'm gonna stick to that. I'm gonna shut up now. Anyways, as you notice, I am starting at the tail end of my brow, the tail end. That means the outside, okay? That's for you, Kierra. I'll link that video down below so you guys can see what I'm talking about. And you start working it gradually towards the middle. It's okay if you're a little bit messy. Luckily, Just for Men's is formulated not to stick to your skin. Sometimes it does if you leave it on for more than 5 minutes. I learned that the hard way, okay? But it is formulated not to stick to the skin too horrendously, so think about that. But I'm going to do that on the other side before I continue further into the inside of my brow. And the reason why is just so it causes a natural gradient. If you guys don't know what a gradient is, I will put a picture here, okay? It might just be of a blush gradient that I did on myself for school, but that's just because I'm lazy and don't want to Google search and save a gradient onto my computer. But that being said, we are going to let this sit for maybe about, give or take, like 30 seconds to a minute, okay? And then we'll fill in the rest of the brows. So you can see it's already like kind of developing at the top of this brow, okay? But yeah, I'll be right back. Okay, while I was off camera, I went ahead and did put a little bit on the tips of my lashes. That's where it's like the most like platinum on my lashes, okay? I don't go all the way to the root. You don't have to go to the root. The root is the thickest and darkest part of your lash, so you really don't do it, okay? But as you notice, the darkening oxidization. Also ignore the bags under my eyes. That's just natural. Baggy eyes. But yeah, we're going to start near the bottom or base of the lash. And using what's on the brush, we are going to push it up, but not all the way to the top, to kind of fill and give a gradient once again. Sorry if you hear a vehicle. One of my neighbors just came racing into the neighborhood. Psych, it's a delivery truck that just came racing into the neighborhood. I just watched its shape just drive past. I'm like, oh. As I'm dyeing my eyebrows, I'm just thinking about how the other day I watched a YouTuber literally draw using hot dogs, dipping them in dye, and then just unhinged ate the freaking hot dogs covered in dye at the end of the video. So fucking unhinged. The internet these days, my god. My god. All I can say though is I absolutely love Just for Men. And I will live with that. Like, that's my motto. Like, she has lashes. Where'd they come from, huh? And those brows? Damn, hey? Damn. But that being said, we are going to sit with this on for a little bit. The lashes I could probably take off sooner rather than later. But yeah, I'm going to wait a couple minutes off camera and then I will come back to rinse it off and show you, okay?
A few moments later.
In a couple minutes, you can really see the development on this brow. You can even see where I missed a couple spots. Good job, Lo. Good job. Woo! Anyways, so conveniently I had a little dessert dish holding a nice warm cloth. So we're just going to gently, okay? Don't need to be rubbing your eye, like detaching your retina just to fucking clean off your lashes, okay? Alrighty, so as you can see, she's cleaned. Not bad, not bad. We got lashes, yes, yes. My gypsy heritage would be proud. Yeah, yes. Being resourceful. Okay. Also, as you know, I am using a brown face cloth to wipe my face. And that is because this is a brown product. Therefore, the stains won't be as noticeable. Okay, so now that we have the lashes cleaned off, but yeah, you can see that the tips are now like actually visible. They were a little bit blonde before, okay? But we are going to start wiping the brow, starting from the middle, okay? I know that was the last place that we had put the developer or the dye or whatever, okay? Already looking good. Ooh, it's like getting a good henna done. Oh, I really want to buy some henna just for my brows, but I don't want to mess it up and end up with black brows. It just wouldn't work. It just wouldn't work. We're too taupe, too mushroom brown, too, I think, what do they call it? Old money brown or an old money blonde? What the fuck? Paper bag brown. What is my hair? Okay. Okay. Well, using a clean paper towel to make sure that I have all of that off. Yeah, see? All off. Cool. Nothing on the lashes. Cool. So now, my brows are done. I know they look just, wow, what did you do that's much different? But in person, you will see a difference. If you leave it on longer, so back when I was younger, I used to really go for that 2016 block brow, like kind of Instagram brow kind of look. For those of you wondering what that is, I'll insert a picture. But this would be a really good starting base if I left it on for like 8 to 10 minutes. If I left it for like longer, it would probably give me like near to like, not chocolate brown, but like a darker brown. And it's very nice because since it does develop on your natural hair, it actually sticks to your natural undertones. Like my eyebrows do look like the same color as my roots, right? I don't know. Comment down below if you would try this yourself. If you have tried this yourself, would you risk it on your lashes? Don't actually do it. Don't. I am not condoning this. I did it for science and also experience. I've been doing this, once again, as I said, for over a decade, tinting my facial hair. I used to actually at one point dye the whole area before I would do any like plucking or waxing, just to like be able to see some of the platinum hairs, because let's see if I left any that could be seen on cam. Well, I get little platinum hairs. Sometimes they go down as low as my lash line, so I have to be careful. I do have a double lash line. It makes it a little more trickier to distinguish what is a lash hair and what is an eyebrow hair. One of them's gonna hurt a lot freaking more than the other when you pluck it. But that being said, today I think we achieved the mission and we dyed the brows. They are good. I feel like I'm ready to go do the rest of my self-care for the day. And yeah, I hope you guys take care and have a great rest of your day. And if you haven't already, like and subscribe. If you made it this far, Jesus Christ, leave a, what kind of emoji? I don't even know. Leave a coffee cup emoji. Yeah, if you made it this far in the video, leave a coffee cup emoji so I know that you exist. And yeah, I love you all. I hope you all have a great rest of your day. And I'll see you again soon. Alrighty. Love you guys. Bye. I may leave this part in. I may not. That'll be up to editor Lo. She wants to do it or not. Sometimes I have to book meetings with myself as if I'm my own editor. Sometimes I bitch myself out too. Oh my god. I had to give some words to myself earlier this year. There goes Lou. She's growing. She's doing good.